Let's update our project to 1.21.5. Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Welcome to the Mentor Code Lab. 1.21.5 is relatively new, so some of our mods, like the badges for mod menu or REI, is not updated. Unfortunately, I found that EMI may not be updated until the 1.22, and that's something that is a little bit troublesome. We have a long way to go until we get to there. Now, something that I need to mention is that if you come to the fabricmc.net and now go to develop page, you will see that we have something that I didn't see it being there, or it may not be there previously, and that's this. This section shows you the proper versions that you need to use for each version of Minecraft and the latest snapshot. So these are the values you need to copy into your Gradle.properties. Something that I would like to see in a better place is this Loom section. I would prefer it to be on top of the latest versions, honestly, because people may miss it, but this is the latest Loom version. So you get these versions from here, the Loom version from here, and if you want to update your mappings to something else, you can migrate your mappings using this command, okay? However, if you are doing this, then you are setting your yarn mappings, it should be it. Now, I had changed my build.gradle a little bit because honestly, most of the time, I would forget to change this Loom version on top. So I added a variable called Loom version on my Gradle.properties, and here I say version, colon, and I will say version using the variable from the Gradle.properties. Other than that, I added the artifact name. I changed the base name to have spaces. However, remember, if you are using spaces here, when you are saying archive base name, you can't use this just like that, project.archive base name. You need to put this as a string, a dollar, curly brace, close the curly brace, and end the string, because now we have spaces here and we make sure that the space is being used properly. Other than this change, I kept my mod ID as UIO. However, now I need to make sure that everywhere that I was using the archive base name, basically I am using the mod ID properly. For example, I have an access widener file, and here I'm using the mod ID. Previously, I was using the archive base name. Now, archive base name is totally different now, and my mod ID remains UIO because I'm lazy enough to not go there and change many different things here and there. And I just said to myself that, okay, you know what? UIO is unique enough. Other than that, I don't think that I'm I'm not using it anywhere, and that's it. However, I had seen something here, and it's this it.options.release equals 21. I'm not sure if this is the Java version or not, so I'm not touching it until I see it change with Java version in future, and then I will find a way to, put it with a variable, because I already have a Java version variable here. I may be able to utilize it, I don't know. Okay, now everything is sitting in order. I just refreshed my process resources with what I had in the mini series for the multi-sub project system. That means that my Fabric mod JSON now is using variables here, and for the Java version and the mod ID, stuff like that. And my mixins is also using that Java version here, although we are not using mixin right now. So basically, I just migrated whatever I had in the multi-sub project that was needed in here. Something that I'm not sure if I'm happy with having it or not is this version check for the build time. If I build my mod and I make the decision that, hey, I need to rebuild it with the same version, it will yell at me because the version is being used before. So I have to go back into the build and libs and find the jar file and delete it, and then I can reopen it and build again. I can just comment this line, and get rid of that. I will do it. I will keep the task. I will just not depend on this task at the compile, because it's a little bit annoying right now, honestly. And if I start syncing the project, now we will sync to 1.21.5, and I'm telling you, some critical things are changed. So stay tuned to the end of the video. Okay, one thing that I almost always forget. If you see something like this could not resolve this version of Loom, it means that you forgot one critical step. Let's open this one on Explorer. You see that Gradle W, Gradle W.bat, and Gradle folder. These need to be changed. Also, if you want to, you can delete this Loom cache under .gradle folder. Let's delete this one. And then I need to open a template. And thankfully, I downloaded the 1.21.5 template. It's just an empty template. I didn't change anything. So if you come here, you will see that it says com example Gradle template mod. So I didn't do anything. I just downloaded it to get this Gradle W, Gradle W.bat, and Gradle folder. Now I will drag and drop them here and say yes and replace. Now you don't need to open your project again or anything else. Just because you changed the Gradle, it will start. The moment you go back to your project, it will start, and hopefully now we won't have any problems. So if you are sure that you changed the loan version correctly, just download the template and replace a folder and 2 Gradle W files and you're golden. Okay, now we have updated to the latest version. First things first, let's go to Fabric and generate our sources. Okay, we have some problem and it says that, let's see, failed to validate access widener UIO XML line 6. So I had some things inside my access widener line 6 that says data pool, and honestly I'm not sure. Oh, I think I know where I'm using it, at least where I was using it, and I'm not using it anymore because I moved these things to the library. So yeah, I moved these things to the library, so I don't need them here anymore. So I will save the access widener. It's just an empty access widener right now. So generate sources, it should work now, and we will come back to that error because in future we have to rewrite some of our libraries and update some of our libraries, and we will have fun with these errors. Now we have the sources, and let's see if we can run the client. We will not be able to, I'm telling you. There are some big changes, and it says no JDK. Okay, file, project structure, and you go into modules, main, it says no SDK. Okay, however, it's just 21 here. Yeah, I had to switch it to Xamarin 21 and hit apply and hit OK, and let's see if it works or not now. Yeah, it's building. Okay, we have something else. Could not find or load main class main. This is something that I came face to face with it many different times. It's not able to find this Fabric MC dev launch injector.main not found, and honestly I'm not sure how to solve it. Whenever I have this, normally what I do is just delete the tasks and then run the client once, close the application, rerun it, and it's there. Honestly, something that I really miss and I wish it was there is that in Forge we have a task that we run and it creates these run tasks for us. Okay, Fabric is lacking it because it's doing it automatic. In other words, the very first time you open your IntelliJ project, it doesn't have any of these tasks on top. So you open the tasks, go to Fabric, you run the client once, and then close the IDEA, reopen it. It generates these for you. However, every now and then I have this problem with these tasks losing their target, and I'm not sure why it's happening or even how to fix it. So I would like to see some task here that I could just delete these, like delete, and it's not working from here. So just use delete, and apply, okay. And then I run that task from here, and it generates these run configurations for me. Unfortunately, we don't have it, so I have to run the client directly from tasks. Supposedly, it should create the run configurations for me, and at the same time, it will run the Minecraft. However, I have to stop it right now because I have some mods that are old here. So yeah, let's create a folder here called mod backup, and now I will take these three, I will put them in mod backup, and as you see, I'm using Sodium. I shouldn't need to use Sodium normally. The reason I have Sodium there is that somehow, for some reason, my mod will cause a huge drop on FPS, and I don't understand it because I had done nothing in this mod right now. The only thing that comes to my mind is that for some blocks, I'm using a heavily animated size. For example, this guy. If I open it in Explorer, each one of the GUI, it doesn't matter which one, I get the properties on it, go into details, and you see that the dimension is 16, so it should be 16 by 16. But then here is 30 frames. So each one of these is actually a huge animated texture. It's not a simple texture. And honestly, I don't like it because I think there is a chance that these number of slides for any one of these GUIs are too much. And somehow I need to reduce the number. So that's something that I have to keep in mind and a project for myself inside the Photoshop. Now, I am seeing something that I shouldn't see. Cannot find symbol Fabric mod provider. Okay, let's see what we have. Some more errors. Yeah, these are the things that I was expecting. The swords, but model provider. Let's delete these. I think I didn't update this one for a long time. Yes, that was it. So, okay, let's see. This is, why am I struggling? I have the other project that I can use. So source. By the way, I'm opening the mini series multi-sub project on the second monitor just to see what I should type here. Okay, this is log log block model datagen. This one is log item model datagen. And then we have some things here under, oh, register armors. Okay, yeah, things has changed. And this is not related to 1.21.5. It's related to 4 because I didn't update this project from 1.21.3. Remember that. So let's go into source, Java, datagen, and model provider. Okay, I need to copy all of this, come back here and paste it. So amethyst, citrine, copper, emerald, enderite, ruby, and sapphire. Yes, boom. And now it's done. What I have here is not being used anymore. However, now I need to do this init thing, although it was related to the multi-project. So let's fix things here. And this is mod items. So it's all with the mod items. Mod armor materials, V, Ctrl V. And now we are getting to the main error of the 1.25. Mod items have errors because, well, items are different now. For the armor, okay, so that's that. What do we have here is excavator. Yeah, the items are now having problems and that is expected. Okay, now recipe provider. Again, this is something that is related to the previous version of Minecraft update, not this version. Get recipe generator. Okay, it's fixed itself. Here we have some errors because it's log recipe datagen and tools here create shaped. Oh, okay, I'm getting tricked by my coloring conditions. This is just a normal method call. Ow, I don't like this color. It makes me confused. Yeah, okay, tools. We have some things here. Conditions from item. Okay, here we have errors on tools. That's expected because swords are changed, armors are changed in 1.21.5, and armor and tools. Okay, I think we are golden here. Let's go to the next one, and that is the equipment. Yeah, as you see, armor item is not there anymore in 1.21.5. Wow. So this class is changed. Let me just open my notes. Okay, inside the register, we are doing the emerald, and the emerald says if previous stack is of the item player remove, that's okay. Then, well, that's not emerald itself alone, is it? No, it's removing emerald. Okay, so amethyst is just removing stuff. That's okay. And until here, that it says enderite. Let's check the enderite. So if is of helmet, add effect, full set, add effect, return. Okay, the rest are the same. So this section is correct. The add effect is just player status. Yep, that. However, this section now needs to be changed a lot because, again, armor item is gone and we don't have access to the armor. This is 1.21.5, by the way. Okay, to fix this one, we need to handle things a little bit differently. And I will start with this. I will say equipment slot array. We call it the slots equals to new equipment slot array, and we define the array immediately. So it says equipment slots dot head, comma, equipment slot dot chest, comma, equipment slot dot legs, comma, equipment slot dot feet. Now this gives us an array of the slots that we want to look for equipments in it. Then we say return something. That something is arrays from Java util dot stream. So we want to make a stream of the slots array, and then we want to find all match. It means that we want to find everything and it should match. So if even once we are not matched with the result, it will return false. If we are matched on all the cases, that's the only time that we will return true. So we want the slot as a variable going to a lambda. Now this lambda, we'd say player dot get equipped stack on the slot does not equal null. Means that we want to have something to be in that slot, okay? And at the same time, we want the player dot get equipped stack at the slot to be inside the tag that we sent in. As simple as that. Meaning that we are looking at these slots in the inventory and we want to match each slot to the tag and make sure that it's not empty. Now, if we take a look for has full set, we are sending enderite armor type, for example, as a tag. So basically, we don't need to check for elytra anymore. We don't need to check for pumpkins anymore because they are not tagged as enderite armor. This is a robust solution now. With this, we don't need to care about anything else anymore. And honestly, I think no matter what changes in Minecraft from now on, this will work because we are looking at the slots and we are making sure that the slot is not empty empty and it's inside the tag that we defined ourselves. And that's a very good solution. Now, as you see, we have lots of errors on the armor and we had lots of errors on the swords. Let's take a look at the sword. Wait a minute, we don't have the sword item, and here we didn't have the armor item. So armor item and sword item are gone. They are not there anymore. How to handle swords now? This is something that you should ask. Now that we don't have sword items, we only have the item class. So we extend our class from net Minecraft item. However, we need to change this section, the super. The new way that Minecraft is creating a sword is that it asks for a new settings and then adds a method call for sword. And of course, we don't need settings anymore. So we are not using these settings. Can we remove it? Yes, we can. Why not? Okay. Could we use the settings.blah? Yes, we could. And honestly, I think it's a better approach because we don't need the instantiation of a new setting twice. So we say settings.sort and it will work. The other change is on the post hit. Now it's a void. It doesn't return anything. So we just call the super without returning anything. And that's it. That's the new way of handling not only the sword, actually all the tools. I think we have the pickaxe, I think. Yes, we have the hoe. Yes, we should have the shovel and we have the axe. So yes, every tool will follow this. And honestly, that's something that you should keep in mind. So that was the citrine sword. The next one is the copper sword. And it's the same deal. Remove this, extend from the item. And here say the settings dot sword and remove the last parameter as settings. Close it. Come here, make it void and remove the return statement. And the right sword, same deal, same deal. Now in here on the right, we need to return without true or false. And that's it. Basically, this last return is redundant. Remove that one. Now excavators. We don't have any more mining tool item. Now mining tool item is not there again. If you look, now we have the pickaxe. So here we will say settings.pickaxe. Let's extend from item first. Then the settings is working. Now settings.pickaxe. And you see that the pickaxe is asking for the material, attack damage, float damage. And it's not accepting the shovel mineable anymore or pickaxe mineable anymore because now we are calling the shovel directly. So if I look at the shovel, for example, you see that it's directly adding the shovel mineable and actually it's calling the tool method, but it's addressing that shovel mineable directly there. So all I need to do is take the material, take the attack damage and the speed, and that's it. So I can remove that part. And now we have a proper constructor for excavator item. Now we have some problems related to these. We will address them later. However, we have a problem here. Append tooltip. Now, append tooltip is changed and we will address it in a few minutes, but let's show it. First of all, you see that it's now tooltip context, then tooltip display component, and then the text consumer. So it's not list of text anymore. It's a consumer. Also, one more thing. It's deprecated now. So if you want to, for time being, you can just say that, hey, please the text consumer dot accept, and here we want to accept the text. Now the text is almost ready there. Okay, so it's reference translator, blah, blah, blah. And that's our append tooltip now. However, I will put a to-do and say use events for tooltip because we now have some event system that handles showing the tooltips, and I think that's why the append tooltip is became deprecated. And when you have two systems, one new, one deprecated, it means that sooner or later in future episodes of Minecraft updating, you will have the problem of append tooltip not being there anymore. So eventually, sooner or later, you'll have to move away from this method. And of course, the sooner the better. Okay, hammer item. Now again, we don't have the mining tool and we only have the item here. And as you see, we were accessing the pickaxe mineable. So now we should say settings dot pickaxe, and pickaxe is asking for the material, for the attack damage and attack speed. And that's that. Just double check material, damage and the speed, and that's it. Also, we have this append tooltip problem. So we add the append tooltip, we remove that. Now we say text consumer dot accept the text. And I will add that to do on top of the hammer too. Okay, that's the hammer class. Now we have another sword, easy enough. Remove that, make this one, extend the item class, and just say that settings.sword. We are not doing anything under Ruby right now because Ruby needs mixing. Sapphire sword extends item class. This one is void. It's not returning anything. So just call the super. And at the end, here is settings.sword. And that's that one. Now the mod items class. class. We have few problems here. First, we had armors, we had pickaxes, and I'm sure in future we have problems with axe, hoe, and shovel, but let's fix them one after another as we are going forward because all of them are here. And every error that you had seen in recipe, data gen, or any other place related to the items is because of this. We don't have armor item anymore, and we don't have pickaxe item anymore. So we simply extend the armors from item. We extend the pickaxe from item. And I'm fairly sure that we need to remove these in future episodes, but they are going slower, so we go slower. Okay, you won't see the error right now because I have to hide the project. I have to hide the Gradle panel to see this error on pickaxe. To make the pickaxe work, we say, actually, let's copy this. The pickaxe equals to, now instead of register tool, I will directly call register from my library. I will use the same name, so it's the pickaxe. Then instead of sending in the material, the attack damage, the attack speed, and then the factory, I will say new item.settings, and remember here I can say dot pickaxe, and then I can cut the material, the attack damage, and the attack speed, paste them here, and finally now I can say item : new as the factory because this is a simple item. And honestly, I'm not sure if I can do this. I can do that. That's easier. I don't have to call the factory on a simple item. So the rest is almost the same. So the copper pickaxe equals to register. And by the way, I can do it on the same line because I don't need register. And this is new item.settings.pickaxe. And that's it. And I don't need that section. It's easier. So again, another pickaxe. So register. We don't have the factory at the end. New item.settings.pickaxe. And that's that. Okay, this will be new item.settings.pickaxe. Boom. And by the way, this is one of the reasons I think my register class needs a little bit of a rewrite, but I will keep it for future. The other reason is the constant need of reminding myself that, hey, I need to call the init on mod ID. And on the multi-project system, I had a very problematic situation that I would hit the null point exception every now and then. Yeah, I don't have anyone that directly accepts settings without the item : new. That was the whole point. We don't have the option without a factory, and that's it. That's our last pickaxe. Now the armor. The armor is a little bit different because I was calling this armor item : new, and we don't have that, but instead we have something different. So we call the register here directly again, the name, and then we need the settings. So new item.settings, and here we say dot armor, and here we sent in the amethyst and the helmet, and then armor.item. Not too complex, but honestly, I'm not sure if I like this or not because I would prefer to send in the name, the material, and the equipment and get done with it. So I have to change this method a little bit in the future, actually, not between anything, but in the future. Register and register. Be careful about copy pasting like this because you are opening the can of worms if you forget to do something like a parenthesis here or here. Okay, that's the amethyst. The rest are just the same, so I will remove the armor names. Honestly, it became much simpler these days. However, I'm not sure if I like this or not. Like that. Okay, helmet, chest plate, the leggings, the boots. Remove the armor section from every 4 lines. And that was the copper. So I just have the emerald, endorite, ruby, and sapphire. I will come back when I had done this repetitive process. Okay, now it looks like we got rid of every problem we had. So far, so good. Let's run the client again. Now, as you see, we have more problems. So that was the first set of problems. Now we see that the block does not have any append tools anymore. Now, you may say, okay, what's the deal? You didn't do anything here. However, later down the road, I want to have tooltips for my goo blocks. So that's something. Now, elevator says that we don't have on landed upon. It's lying. We have that, but something has changed there. Now, on landed upon has a word, block pose, and no block state anymore. No, actually, wait. It has block state, it has the block pause, it has the entity, and now for fall distance, it's not using float, it's using double. That was the whole thing. So block tag provider, what's wrong with you? Yes, my datagen. So log block tag datagen. This is log tag entity tag datagen, log tag, and this is item tag datagen. Okay, I seriously need to change this color. Okay, this one is loot table, log loot table datagen, configured features. Oh, this one. This is the bootstrap. log features datagen bootstrap, log place datagen bootstrap. Now this one is datagen generator itself, log datagen, and this one build registry. Okay, we have log g registering features. Now tune item, again, we don't have append tooltip here. Actually, this is the item, it has the append tooltip. So let's add the to do, and I will cut everything, I will paste it, then I will say consumer.accept chalice. Now chalice has two problems. One is add particle, one is can player modify add. I will come back to this in a few minutes because it has another type of problem. Okay, append tooltip, okay, it has been deprecated. These are warnings. This one is the wrong one. So append tooltip, control X, control V, text consumer, accept, remove this section. And mod armor materials, what's now here? Oh, I think this one is an old one. Yeah, it should be an old one. It's not related to 21.5, I mean that. So let's take a look. Yeah, I did change these. So it's under init. Here we say the amethyst is get armor materials instead of this mumbo jumbo. Boom. And this is the reference. This is the citrine. Copper. This is a good example of why you shouldn't jump from one project to the other one, because when I was creating the multi-mod series, I did update to 1.21.4 and these changes happened at that time. So, well, few copy pastes from the side project to the main project, and that's it. So that's the armor material. Now, the only remaining problem is chalice. Now, if you recall, we copied the code from the bucket item from Minecraft Vanilla. So now we need to take a look at what's going on there. Basically merge knit and Minecraft item, and let's see if I can find that bucket item. Okay, I will take it to the second monitor. I'm not gonna understand everything there because we had done it once and it's inside place fluid. So the label system, oh, it's changed a lot. Now remember, back when I was looking at the code, we had this label system and I was like, okay, what should I do with that? Now take note, the place fluid has no label system anymore. And maybe they fixed, I hope they fixed that stupid error that we had. Okay, so it says if not this fluid instance of flowable fluid, return false. That's understandable. Then something that is interesting. So let me get rid of, actually, let's do it. Okay, this dot fluid, it's asking for the fluid on top. We are not doing it. Basically, we are making sure that it's water, so it's always flowable. We are not checking that. Then it says the block state is word dot, yeah, it's here. Basically, it moved it on top. The block state at the pause, then the block equals the block state that get blocked. So it's just getting things around instead of the label. Then it has the can bucket place, so fluid. Now we have the water, so boom. And finally this, it says block state is air and something else. Okay, let's take a look. I will copy it, I will paste it because it's changed. This is target BS, BL is can place, and the block is target block. So why are you grayed out? We have player instead of user. Instead of block state, we have target block state, and for the fluid, we have fluids.water. Okay, it's grayed out. I don't understand why. It says is redundant. Let's see. Okay, that's the label section. I will remove that. Now it's fixed the redundant section. So that's that. Okay, then we say if we are not placed in a spot, return hit result is not null, and this dot place fluid player word hit result gets signed and null. So that's the same thing. Now we say else if word that get dimension ultra warm. So that's the nether. We don't want that. Yeah, here it is. If is, oh, it's changed a little bit here because the logic is different. The code is the same. It says if it's ultra warm and this that fluid is in fluid tag water, well, we are water. If we are not placed in a spot, oh, we are returning here. So the else is redundant. Honestly, it's confusing sometimes. Okay, if that is okay, then we say here is add particle and this became add particle client. That was a name change there. Then we say is fluid fillable. Fillable, try, fill with fluid, play sound, and emit game event. Otherwise, let's see, where was I? Here. If word is not client and can place, and block state is liquid, word break block, that's here, is empty. it's changed. Let's pop that, and it's target, yes. It's deprecated, that's the thing. Okay, this section is the same, then it's just this. Okay, and that's it basically. So the only thing that was changed, oh, here we go. There is something on top. So where was it? It's on use now. Use. It says that we get the offset origin, blah, blah, blah. Oh, can player modify add? Became can entity modify add. Makes sense. And that's it basically. So we got rid of that not understandable label block, and that's it basically. So I think it's not gonna fix the old bug that we have with buckets in the Word. It's a game mechanic that has a problem. Okay, so few different changes on the logic and few naming changes. Let's see if it works. Now we have only few deprecated calls, and that's okay. First, good signs. Minecraft is coming up. Now remember, the mod menu badges is not working right now. It's not updated. So I removed from the list, but mod menu is here. And as you see, we have the jconfig, jenergy. These need to be replaced, and the written, JLogger, Machina, inventory, lib, reference, and register. Then we have Ultra IO. Okay, now you see that the icon is not showing up properly. I think it's related to the size of the icon. I'm not sure about it. We will take a look at this later. However, if I go and create a new world, I'm not going to touch my old world yet. Make it creative and peaceful. And you notice that I'm getting lag for playing the background animations. The world is super flat and customized. Presets, let's go with, I don't know, redstone ready, why not? Sandstone, stone, bedrock, okay. And done and more. Actually, no generated structures. Game rules, advanced time of day, and update weather. Okay, done, create. Let's see if things behave the way they should be or not, because this is the moment of the truth. If everything works, you should be able to not only see your items and everything that you are not seeing right now, but they should behave. And honestly, all the textures are missing. It means that for some reason my I think I know what's going on. Actually, no, the blocks are there, UIO is there. So I should have some errors showing me that, hey, your textures are missing, and the error is not there. So we have missing textures everywhere. And my first idea is to run the data gem. So right now the game is coming up. So let's see if I put the amethyst helmet, amethyst chestplate, amethyst leggings, and amethyst boots onto my character, I get the effects properly. The models are not showing up, the textures are not showing up. So we have problem with textures and models. However, because these are working, I have a hunch that my tools should work. So player teleport, let's dig it here and let's make some things here. That shows where I am. So bound and teleport. Yeah, it's teleporting. So that behaves correctly, and the chalice should behave correctly. So if I right click, it's setting the water correctly. Okay, an axe. And now I need to go to survival, and I didn't get the item. Oh, it's pickaxe. Oh, wait. It's not breakable by citrine. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see. Ruby axe, why not? And it's not mineable by ruby. So looks like my tool materials are messing up for some reason, and those are on pickaxes, exactly where we had changed things. So mod items, let's take a look at my pickaxes. We are sending the material as sapphire or anything else, and we are initializing them. I don't know why it's not working. I have to fix few things here and there. Apparently we don't read the textures, although we have the textures all around. I'm not sure if my data gen is correct or not, so I have to remove all these generated data and run the data gen. Okay, here is what I was facing in the multi-sub project. When I'm running the data gen, I get this unreferenced key null.
If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and turn on that bell so that when I publish a new video, you will get informed. Have fun, everyone. Bye.